Hello gamers, today I thought I would talk to you about a question or a topic that comes up quite a lot when people are talking to me, which is about should they get into teaching games? Is it a viable career option? The answer here is yes, no, maybe, depends what type of person you are. Something I wish that someone had told me before I started teaching is that being good at game design or game development or game art or whatever your specialty is does not make you a good teacher, and I think sometimes people forget this. They think that because they understand a topic or a subject, they therefore could teach it to other people. And that's just not the case. Most of the horror stories that I hear from students are about their time in school and about having a teacher that really either didn't want to be there, didn't like teaching, or just didn't like students in general. And for me, I sort of feel like, why did you get into teaching if you don't actually like the practice and the art of teaching? It actually puts students off going into more study, and it puts students off getting into that industry. As game devs, we're designed to look for problems and fix them. We're designed to look intrinsically at how fast we can get something done and about how successful we can be individually, but also for the team. As teachers, part of our job is to slow down and not worry about pace as much, but about how we're explaining something. And if we are explaining something, it has to be correct. It has to be so that learners can absorb that information. They've never touched this subject before, and so that they can absorb that information and then replicate it. It is less about speed, it's more about accuracy, and it's more about you explaining a concept well. One of the things I hear all the time is game developers telling people, make your games fun. As a teacher, we can't just say make your games fun, we have to explain player psychology, we have to look at mechanics, game loops, game flow, immersion, we have to look at the psychology and the theorists and who's talking about what in games, we have to recommend books, we have to understand every single thing about that tiny concept and be able to reiterate and show it to our students. I think a lot of teaching is about communication, and not all game developers are great at communication. We have to learn how to communicate effectively as game developers in teams, but there is like a totally different way to talk as a teacher and as a lecturer about certain topics, and how to translate that into accessible language without dumbing it down so that students can have open debate and experiment and think about these topics. Teaching is not about you showing off your skills and knowledge, it's about you sharing your skills and knowledge. So you have to want the students to succeed more than you want to succeed. For me, that was having to decide whether I, put all my energy into running a game studio or all my energy into teaching. And for me, teaching has won out, mostly because I love seeing students succeed, and I love seeing when people have that little moment where they realize what's possible in game development. And while I'm still making games, I'm doing it at a much slower pace so that I can put my main focus into academia. If you are not prepared to let your own studio die, if that makes sense, then teaching is potentially not for you, because it should, and rightly so, be your main focus. Students can 100% tell when you're not into teaching, and it creates that horror story cycle again where students are going to be turned away from learning if they can see that you're not interested in them. I am in no way trying to shame anybody from trying to get into lecturing and teaching. What I'm saying is you have to understand the responsibility that comes with teaching. I do think more industry people should jump into teaching or lecturing or giving talks, because we should be sharing that knowledge, but you have to understand what type of person you are, and if you're thinking about your success above all else, it's probably not for you. And if you're thinking about helping the next generation and getting them into games, then absolutely come share your knowledge, give a guest talk. In fact, if you are industry and you're interested in giving a guest talk, please reach out to me. I'd love to connect you with some of my students, or maybe have you in for a guest lecture. Education is a wonderful responsibility, and I cannot wait to see my students succeed. I am so excited about what they're learning and doing and what they're going to achieve in the future.